What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? So, my office is kind of a mess right now. I got a bunch of stuff that I thrifted, photographed, measured, and listed. It's bagged up, but I didn't seal it because I meant to do a haul video. Um, so I basically need to do that now, so I can get the stuff put away. So everything is bagged up. Well, not everything. A lot of it is, but I'm going to be going over some of the stuff that I bought the last couple days and then just listed. So, first up, this is like I almost didn't get this, but this just reminds me of my childhood. This is actually a vintage Bugle Boy. Excuse me. And like that takes me back. Like that's my childhood basically. And this teal, kind of like a worn black stripe to it. I looked at it and I was kind of laughed a little bit, and then I put it back, or I didn't even pick it up, and then I decided to actually search it, and I found this exact shirt sell used for $19.99. So I picked it up. It's listed. We'll see how it does, if that was just a fluke. So this is just a men's Columbia. This is XCO, like a quarter zip, not a fleece, but it's like a real soft plush sweatshirt. So most of the time I always pick up Columbia when it has the three letters. I actually don't know what XCO stands for, but I've sold it before. I think these next three or four items are all Polo. I don't have really any good way of doing this right now, because there's so much of it. I picked this one up because this is silk. I don't think I've ever found a silk sweater, or maybe I have and just wasn't paying attention. But this is men's orange, no holes or snags. It's size medium, and it doesn't look like it's shrunk or anything. So it looked like from the comps, from what I saw, it looks like the silk sweaters seem to do a little bit better, along with this one, which is not silk, but it's Pima cotton. If you ever feel it, like it's just like a softer, smoother one. And I've started stop being so lazy and doing a little bit more research for better keywords. For example, like this, I looked it up at first and I thought it was a mock neck, and it's not. Mock necks are kind of like turtlenecks, but they're not as tall. This is actually called a button shawl cowl. Now I can't remember. It's either shawl collar or cowl, but I'm pretty sure it's shawl collar. Two button, the Pima cotton. So this is a bit better than the normal sweater. And then this is the type of stuff that I think is really cool, but I don't know if it's because it's women's clothing, and in my taste, obviously doesn't transfer to women's clothing. But if this was a guy's sweater, I think this is cool. It's a full zip mock neck, but it's Lauren jeans, the green label. Ralph Lauren. And it's all black, and the trim is actually leather, and it has the pockets up here, and then two at the bottom. So yeah, I think that this is a pretty cool sweater, but being that it's a women's, I'm not sure how it will do. So we'll see. And I think the last one is just kind of like a regular quarter zip mock neck sweater. You know, navy blue with the red. It's got the quarter zip and the little leather tag. So pretty solid. I picked it up for a few bucks, so I really don't care if it sits until fall. All right, next we got a men's Under Armour Marine Core shirt. I think I want to say I paid $2 for this. This actually is sold already, so this will be going out tomorrow. I think it went for $14.95, which is what I priced it at. Next is some more Pima cotton, I believe. Yeah, it's a men's LL Bean. It's a long sleeve polo shirt. I don't remember what I paid or priced this at, but LL Bean I've started picking up and it seems to do pretty good for me. This is a Nike Dry Fit full zip windbreaker, not vintage. You can tell it's definitely new. It's got the new printed on tag, but I just think this is like a really cool colorway. The lighting kind of sucks, so I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it's the blue with gray. I used to have some shoes like this, and it's not nylon. It's that stretchier, like poly spandex blend. So this was cool. They were actually asking $6 for this, but I got it on Facebook Friday, so it was 30% off. So I paid like just over $4 for it. I also thought this piece was pretty cool. This is a Puma Neil Barrett collab. It's in Italy warm up jersey. So you got the navy blue and royal blue with the gold trim, the patchwork on it, and Italia on the back. So I got excited because I was thinking like, oh, it's a collab, it should do well. And the solds were okay. There wasn't a ton to compare. And I think the couple that I saw listed were listed quite a bit higher than what the solds were at. So I think I priced this at $39.99 or best offer. I don't know if it will sell for that much, but I'm only into it for $3 or $4, so I would probably take anything over 20. This was one of my bad buys, but when I used to have a bad purchase, I would return it, but now I don't. I don't buy it. I don't have as many bad buys, and also I have a pretty good relationship with the people at Goodwill, so like I don't typically want to come and be returning stuff, and I don't know if that's petty or not, but I don't do it. And they seem to treat me well. So, but it was a vintage Tommy button up with the flag logo, and I actually still listed this because I've sold damaged things before. You'd be surprised sometimes with what sells, and it has a worn hole in it, but it's actually like under the flap, so it's right there. I'm not sure. Well, that's actually how I missed it because it's under the flap. And when I went to fix the buttons and list it, I noticed it. When it's something like that, sometimes I will just list it cheaper, or if it's really bad, but it's still a good brand, I will just throw it up as auction. Start at 99 cents. And then, I usually paid a few bucks for it. So if I price it at a calculated shipping, 16 ounces, if it sells for 99 cents, I might get $4 or $5. So I typically will cover my money just from what they pay in shipping. All right, so here's all that stuff. Okay, next up we have, I'm actually not going to pull all of this out because you'll get a pretty decent idea anyways. But this is a men's long sleeve motocross jersey, motocross, downhill mountain biking. I paid a couple bucks for this. I've sold motocross jerseys before for like $15-20 even when they're stained. Certain brands can go for more, and if you happen to have like the jersey pant combo for motocross, like you can get into some real money like that. Next up was a Tommy Bahama. This is not a Hawaiian shirt, but I picked it up because it's linen, and linen shirts usually do pretty good for me. These are both brands that I just recently started picking up because I think I mentioned this before. I didn't think that mall brands did that well, but these are Hollister. I picked up for a couple dollars. They're super soft. I thought about keeping them, but then it's summer. Why would I keep clothes right now? And this one already sold for $15. Next up is a men's Merrell, like camp shirt, plaid button shirt. I think that this one's sold already too. It's the first time I found Merrell clothes. We got some more mall brands. This is American Eagle, hot pink. It's kind of, yeah, that's definitely hot pink. But I picked it up because of the color and because it's slim fit, which are both things that add to the value of a shirt in my opinion. Modern Amusement I've talked about before. This is just one of the a little bit pricier brands that you find at PacSun. It's a short sleeve Hawaiian shirt, good color. It is a size small, so it might sit for a minute. But Modern Amusement is like a good bread and butter for me. They always sell basically. Vintage Wrangler. If you guys watch the channel, you know that I love flipping vintage Wrangler or any Wrangler pearl snaps. Like I swear, cowboys just like to buy on eBay because I always sell them. And let me see, without opening this up, if you can see the logo to get an idea. This is just a Patagonia Capeline. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's basically like a base layer, mock neck. I got it because I was thinking about keeping it, but it fits weird, so I listed it. It's nothing special. Next up, Columbia Field Gear. Now this is a waterproof, breathable, like windbreaker shell. See if I can get a better shot of it. You know, gray and red, good color, no damage at all, really good shape. They were asking $10. I got it on Facebook Friday, so you know, 30% off that. $7. It's not. The comps weren't quite as good as I was hoping, but they were still in like the 30 to 40 range, I think. This was actually the other damaged buy I had. It was Columbia quarter zip, like pullover lightweight fleece. I didn't notice until I got home and took a closer look that someone was too close to the campfire, and they had like not big holes, but like a couple of little spots where embers landed on it. So I just took a good picture. And I believe this one actually sold already, surprisingly. It's not a very good color. It's like a dull brown. And there's burn holes in it, and it sold for like $14. Alright, so this was a first for me. Actually, I think my wife found this one. But it's a women's, you know, I don't sell a lot of women's, but a women's laundry dress by Shelly Segal. It's kind of form-fitting, and it's new with tags. You can see that right there. Retail $165. They didn't have it marked up, so that was $3.99 for this. This is the type of situation where I wish that I had a full-form mannequin. I don't, so I took pictures of a flat lay, and I left myself a note that, like, if I don't get any loving for this listing, that I need to get a dress form, or at least throw it up on my half mannequin and use like tape or something to like pull the back tight so you get a better idea of it, of like what it looks like. Next up, this is just a men's Guess t-shirt. I'll pull this out because I think it was kind of cool. It's like this maroon color, and I don't know if that's velour or velvet. Black roses, V-neck. So this was kind of cool. Guess does okay. Not as good as like vintage Guess. If you know vintage Guess, especially like the horizontal striped t-shirts, like Round 2 sells those for like 80 to 120 for a striped t-shirt. So be on the lookout for vintage Guess for sure. You guys know I always pick up mountain biking stuff when I can. This is a pair of men's Patagonia, or not, men's Cannondale mountain biking shorts. They're basically like they remind me of like a tough board short almost, but then they have like a padded line, a liner that's padded for your butt. And I also found a pair of men's Tommy Bahama swim trunks. Good color, Tommy Bahama Relax with the logo right here. Old school with the mesh. Alright, on to the next pile. Nike Golf dry fit polos. Next time I'm gonna do the video before I package all this, because I really don't feel like taking it all out. Besides certain ones, like I'll take certain ones. This is kind of cool. I think this is really cool. I think I described this as retro because the color block flag polo. This is really cool. Probably should have turned my phone off. But you can tell it's not a vintage tag. This is like a contemporary Tommy tag. So when I find stuff like this, I make sure to describe it as like retro or vintage inspired, color block, flag, large, you know, whatever you can to describe like the appealing details of the shirt. Like I think this is a really cool shirt. This is another Tommy Hilfiger stretch. It's new. It's not vintage, and it's shrunk up kind of weird. So I made sure to leave like detailed measurements of it. This one's vintage. What is vintage? Vintage Tommy jeans, like a camp shirt. But it has like this, I don't know, like silver thread woven. I don't know why they do that. I think it looks kind of feminine, and this is definitely a dude shirt. I don't really think it's cool, but Tommy jeans does pretty good. Next up, we have some more vintage Wrangler. This is definitely the vintage. The other one has the silver background, but the font is the same. You can tell like this tag is so old you can see through it. These are the type of shirts that I sell all the time for like 15 to 20 bucks. And I always find them. Every time I go thrifting, I pretty much come home with Wrangler Pearl Snaps. These I haven't picked up before. I decided to try them out. They're similar to like Columbia PFG, but these are the GSX, the Guide Series Extreme fishing shirts. I happened to come across two of them, same size, and they're in really good condition. So I picked them up to try to bundle them together, and we'll see how they do. One's like a brighter green, and one is a darker, kind of duller olive tone. This is like a lot of work taking these out and putting them back. J. Crew chinos. I kind of skimmed over J. Crew for a long time, and then I realized like a lot of people were that liked selling it, and I was actually in the eBay growth section, and J. Crew had like a pretty good score up there for brands to sell, so I started picking it up. I don't remember what this is. Oh, this was exciting. I actually found an Adidas Swingman 2016 All-Star Game Kobe jersey. Now, the replicas were selling between like $40 and $50, but the actual Swingman jerseys were selling for like $100 to $200. And this is actually in really good shape. This was probably one of the first items that I took a picture and put on Instagram, and I had people asking about the prices. I told them to DM me an offer, but I haven't heard back, so we'll see about that. This is another, well, not a PacSun brand, but it's sold at PacSun. That's Diamond Supply Co. This is one of their pricier brands, and it usually sells pretty good. This t-shirt already sold. It's going out tomorrow. I think it went for like $12 or $14. Nothing crazy, but I paid $1 or $2 for it, and it's super light to ship. On the bias is actually the PacSun house brand, and one of my favorite brands. I'm not gonna lie, their house brands, the bullhead jeans, and on the bias, I just really like the fit and the style of the clothes. This is a Hawaiian shirt with a bunch of fruit, interesting theme to it, good color, not super pricey, but I should be able to get like 15 for it. This was another first for me. The same day that I found that laundry dress was my first Vince. It's like a baseball tee, kind of. And we'll see how it does. A lot of the comps were a little bit... I won't say that I was disappointed, but the way people talk about Vince, I was expecting comps to be a little bit more. And I did look on Google to see like what they retail for, and they are up there. It just doesn't seem like the resale is quite as high as you would expect. Of course, like how much do you expect to get for a long sleeve baseball tee? I'm going to show you just a few more things before I pack up. We have a men's vintage Nautica. It's like, I picked this up actually because it had a decent print and because it's a linen Hawaiian shirt. And like I said before, linen seems to do pretty good. And the rest of the stuff is kind of just like boring bread and butter, more Ralph Lauren, more button shirts. But this was kind of cool. It's vintage U of M Michigan Wolverines. I wouldn't say that this is color block, but you know, it has the dual colors, has embroidered patchwork logos, you know, no stains, no tears. Paid a couple bucks for it, but it's not a like a well-known brand. It's Cadre Athletic. I think that, yeah. So it's kind of hit or miss when I pick up like old sports team stuff. Sometimes it does really well, like really well, and sometimes it doesn't. I actually think I have probably half a dozen vintage Wolverines sweatshirts. So I know it's not the best time of year for it, but we'll see. So now that pretty much wraps it up. The rest of the stuff is just like more of the same thing. So I'm gonna get these put away and enjoy the rest of my weekend, and I will talk to you guys soon.